Throughout my life, I've lost count at the amount of times I've been called a terrorist, the P word, or told to go back to my country. I'm Scottish, you reg. And when I was a child, it really bothered me. But as I got older, I started to laugh at these people. Their ignorance literally amused me. And when I would laugh at them, it would make them scratch their heads, which would make me laugh even more. I could handle these bigoted bullies. It was the sly, insidious little comments that really played on my mind and self-worth. In current times, there's been a lot of awareness raised for the issues that the ethically diverse are currently facing in the modern world, and this is a beautiful thing. People wanting to learn and understand other races and cultures is truly inspiring. But I'm very cautious of how much division is spreading amongst us, which is ironic considering the context. So as I tell you this, please listen with an open heart and mind. I'm not telling you this to create more division, rather to create self-awareness. I've been really lucky to have been given many fantastic opportunities in my life. In 2010, I was the first Asian girl to ever appear on Britain's Next Top Model, and as a result, I enjoyed a career as a model while studying. Now I work for the BBC and in media, but back then I was going to a lot of castings and meeting lots of different people. 10 years ago, the modelling industry was nowhere near as diverse as what it currently is. And I lived in Scotland, a place even less likely back in those days to cast a brown model. So when I would go to a casting, it wouldn't be that unusual for me to be the only person of colour in a room of 50 girls. To be honest, this didn't really bother me. I grew up in a predominantly white area where my family were the only people of colour in primary school, and in high school I was one of 4 brown people in my entire year. What did bother me was when the other models thought it was okay to point it out. I remember being told on few occasions that I was definitely going to get cast just to tick that diversity box, and it would always catch me off guard. I would never know what to say. Thanks, I guess. Even worse, it would impact my self-worth and my capabilities. Was I the token brown girl? Did they really want me there? Or was I just some checkbox exercise? It would go round and round in my mind, really impacting my confidence, firstly as a person, secondly as a model. It's no secret that girls can be a bit bitchy at times, and it would always cross my mind whether they were being malicious and purposeful in their comments or just ignorant. I'd like to think it was the latter, but I guess I'll never know. In reality, if they were trying to put me off my game, it definitely worked. Everything happens for a reason though. It took me a long time to coach myself out of that mentality, but I did it, and it made me a much stronger person for it. You can take your experiences in this life and either get better or bitter. It's as simple as that for me, and I genuinely hold no grudges against any of the girls that I met. In fact, I'm truly grateful to them because without their comments, I wouldn't have the thick skin that I have today, which is essential for working in media. But I also want to point out and raise awareness about making an assumption based on a person's skin colour. It is offensive and has no place in modern society. Ultimately, any judgments we make about people aren't healthy, whether that's based on race, class, education, or anything else. That's the reason why I felt compelled to speak about this, because without open discussions, it's going to be really difficult to bring about real change. I feel that if we're truly to create a society of inclusion, we need to take the time to understand the perspective of others. I already feel that with each new generation that comes in, it's more open than the last. I mean, I feel this is really apparent even when you look at the recent global protests. But what's super important is to remain proactive and keep the conversation going, because real change comes from our local communities. If we can help to alter the perspectives of the people immediately around us, then this will help to change the day-to-day lives of the people who actually suffer from any form of discrimination. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this content.